That's a good place to stop for right now, because we get to do it again later, don't we? Be a good boy. Be a good boy. As you can see, force fetch does not have to be something horrible. There's no reason to put a ton of pressure on the dog in this process. When you're putting so much pressure on the dog that they cannot think through the pressure, that's a problem. They've got to be able to think through pressure. So don't put so much pressure on them that they're in pain, and then they can't understand, they can't think through it, they don't know what you want. So mild pressure, just enough that they recognize it's there, and they understand that I can turn pressure off by getting this in my mouth. The pressure goes away, and eventually they start reaching for it like he did, and then they start trying to avoid it like he did. But you cannot put a ton of pressure on them and try to rush through this process. But one, it's not fair to the dog. But two, now you got a dog that's nervous about pressure. So how we introduce pressure to a dog is very important. It can make or break them, and we don't want to be that reason. There's no reason. Any dog that's got drive, there's no reason that you should put so much pressure on them that it breaks them down. It's not fair to the dog, and it's not necessary. We'll add pressure toward the end of this process to speed things up, but it's only because he truly understands what we're talking about. You can already tell with him, he understands, oh, if I get that in my mouth, pressure goes away. Oh, if I go ahead and reach for that before he reaches for my ear, I can avoid pressure. And that's where we want to be. We want them to be at a point where they're trying to avoid pressure by doing the right thing. Then we're going to speed that fetch up by adding a little bit of extra pressure, but he understands it only when they understand it, and not until then. Now you may have a dominant dog, it's tough. Well, your pressure has to be appropriate for that individual dog. So if I've got to add a bunch of pressure to a tough dog, that it's relative to that dog. But that same amount of pressure to a soft dog is not appropriate. It's too much. So we have to find the level of pressure, whatever it is, from 0 to 10, there's something in there that works for each individual dog. Find that level that works for them and stay there, and only increase it when you need to. Sometimes they'll get to the point where they go, I just don't think I'm not going to be compliant. Well, there has to be a consequence to that. So if they start to understand there's a consequence, then they start trying to avoid the consequence. And that's where we want them to be. So you can tell he's not nervous about anything. He's a happy dog, aren't you? So I'm a good boy. Really well-bred dog, too. And thank you. We're not shaking hands, but okay. But anyway, that's him. That's old Zeke. Good boy.